Bestie. We have a new bestie.
As you guys can see, we do have
There's
a
a
new bestie.
there's a man in the room with us. Y'all know him as Karim Cheese, your favorite gamer's gamer, as we like to call him, which who doesn't? He is a Twitch superstar, tiki talker of like the best tiki talker. You know, it's he like we literally are the super fans of him now, and he just became a Be Strong advocate, which we are deeply grateful for. We were connected with Kareem through our friends at Logitech G, who he happens to be a sponsored creator with, and Flippin did a Be Strong fundraiser like 3 seconds ago. Okay, it was last month, and creators are still doing fundraisers because of that good work. But let's celebrate our guest, Mr. Kareem.
I'm happy to be here. It's been a long day, and we actually just ended the tournament yesterday. So we're fresh right off work.
Tell us about this tournament.
So this tournament is to highlight BIPOC creators, raise funds for multiple charities, and put people or put creators in a position to showcase their skills, share a lot of importances of mental health and just diversity in a whole wide world spectrum. It's really beautiful to see.
I love that, man. Thank you so much for doing that work. And also, I know some of the information, and Be Strong is deeply, deeply grateful to be a part of such an important project. We'd love to know from you as someone that's a part of the community, because unless we're talking Mario Kart or Duck Hunt, I'm not familiar with that particular
Great games,
community.
though.
I mean, classics, they might say. They might say, but what does it look like from a diversity perspective within the content creator and gaming world?
It looks like absolute chaos, but
Okay.
but a good chaos. It's like you're always doing something throughout your days. You're always trying to reach out to people, get everybody together to clear one goal or one objective. So there's a lot of stress on that end, but ultimately, once the projects come to life and you change people's lives via the project,
Mhm.
it's all
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. How many people like participate in a project like you just did?
So this time around, we had 48 creators in total.
That's
Wow,
really awesome.
that's amazing.
It's really awesome. Next year, I'm hoping to make it bigger. I want 30 squads, 90 creators.
Nice.
So go
Okay.
big or go home.
So what you're telling me is Bestito and I have time to train.
To
Yes,
learn. That's what I was thinking. That's
To
what
yes.
we
learn.
made it.
You
Okay.
guys can learn how to play some Apex Legends. It's a little sweaty, but I think you guys can make a squad.
Well,
I mean,
this is
we
exciting.
know.
We would definitely have the merch. We definitely have the merch. Speaking of squads and merch, guys, the World Cup. The World Cup.
Yes,
I feel
yes.
like the people needed the World Cup. Like the World Cup for me just reminded me how much I freaking love humans. I feel like society is doing everything it possibly can to make us forget that very, very important thing. But I'm not a big sports person as you Jesula knows, Kareem, you'll find out. But I love when people can come together and create moments and experiences like that. How did your teams do?
Uh, Jesuli, would you like to go first?
Oh, I can go first. Like for me, I was rooting for Haiti. We did our best and we got out, and but I was really happy for the rest of the team. And like you said, Ashley, I really enjoy to see how community comes together and see how we celebrated. That was a powerful moment. A lot of the time, I did not know what was going on, but because I saw the celebration and how hyped people were, and it was nice. It was nice to see and kind of be around people.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. For me, I am a football fan, true and true. Every time the World Cup comes around, it changes lives. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
Every 4 years, it's like we just amass a whole bunch of new fans of football. And I'm Cape Verdean, so my country did me proud. I
You
was in
also said
tears.
football for the people that you
Yes,
let us know you're a real one.
yes, it's
Yes,
it's
yes.
football. It's football. I mean, for my US people, yeah, it's soccer too, but maybe somewhere along the road we can go to football, the true term.
Correct.
But Cabo Verde did wonderful. My country poured their hearts out on the field. I was in tears watching the games. I was doing live reacts. Um, I think the USA World Cup was probably one of the best World Cups I've seen since 2010 South Africa,
Oh wow.
and it's so important to see all these cultures come together in these games and just be at peace. It's like the one time every 4 years that everybody forgets about everything else in the world and it's just football.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good.
I
It's so
agree.
good. Well, I'll tell you this. I heard through the grapevine, not only are you a Tiki Talker superstar, I don't know if we can actually use the name, so I'm just going to keep going with Tiki Talker.
Tiki Taka works.
Tiki Talker
You know,
works.
we know, the people
Tiki
know.
Taka in football,
We
like
know the
it's close.
we know the people over at Tiki Talker. They tried to help us out, and they were like, so many channels. But
Yeah.
they're so nice, and we love the people at Tiki Talker. But one thing that I know about you, Kareem, is that you're an athlete as well, which is one of the things that we were excited to kind of dive in with you about. Is for this episode, we really want to spend some time around talking about what is it like when your dream is allowed to change,
That's actually
right?
a really, really great question. That's a
Yeah,
really great question.
that's a good one. I'm
I
excited to kind of pick your brain, Kareem. I
yeah,
think
and
that's good.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that because that I wasn't ready. If you asked me that question
Yeah.
2, 3 years ago, I'd be like, I have no clue.
Mm,
But I've just matured so much in these last few years, and changing your dream is almost like believing in your gifts, right?
right.
Understanding that even though one dream didn't work out the way you wanted it to, you can put your all into something else that you care about just as much,
Right.
and it turns out beautiful, and it leads to things that you never know possible,
Yeah.
right? Once I stopped playing or stopped pursuing like professional football and started just chilling and playing semi-pro,
Yeah.
I started doing a lot of content creation. It led me on the New York City billboards for Twitch's Black Guild. It also led me to being on the carpet for Dune with Zendaya and Tom Holland, which was insane. I don't even know why I was there, but just having a good time.
That should have been in your intro. Like
Right,
Yeah.
right,
so so we're pretty much best friends with them both now because
right.
you were on the red carpet with them is what
That's what I'm hearing
that's
too.
what I'm hearing.
I got to meet both of them. They are wonderful, beautiful people.
I love to
And
hear that.
I also got to meet so many people like at the after party. All right, fun story about changing your dreams, right? I pivoted to content. I put my all into content. It was wonderful. And then end up going to that Dune premiere, end up walking to the after party after. James Gunn is there, Dave Bautista is there. I walk in, Norman Reedus is just saying, "Hello, welcome to the party." I almost crapped myself. I was like, I was around. I was like, it's for one changing lifetime, like one
Yeah.
changing moment in your
Yeah.
life where you're like, I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing it well.
Yeah. And
Well, you mentioned there were some big changes over the last couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah. What did that look like for you?
So the big changes over the last couple of years was a lot of pivoting, a lot of no's, a lot of we can't do this, a lot of we can't do that, a lot of resilience, a lot of cold emails, just sending them out. Look, we see what hits. And
We
yeah,
know.
and I've
We
just
know.
been, I'm a firm believer in you knock on the door until it opens
Come on.
or until you kick it open.
Come on.
Like
Mm,
one thing you got to do is be serious about your work and your passion. And if you continue the grind, like the dubs will come. It just depends on if you seize the moment or not. So I think that was super, super important.
yeah. Thank you for sharing, Kareem. Like speaking on all of the things that you had to do to pivot. I have a questions in terms of why do you think when people feel like they are changing their dreams, that means they fail? Like, what would you share with them based on that concept that a lot of, especially young people, have in their mind?
I would share that the failing is all part of the process. You need to fail, right? We as humans don't learn unless we take an L, unless we learn how to lose in the long run. So I think losing should be in a different light.
Right?
A lot of people think
Mm,
losing is a bad thing.
I
No,
love
I
that.
like to lose because that means I can go back to the board, do some research, come back, and then crush whatever I lost in before and become a winner moving forward. So losing is, I think, something everybody needs to learn to accept within their lifetime,
Mhm.
and then learn to use it as
Mhm.
fuel for your passion, continuing moving forward. Because if you look in the grand scheme of things through everybody's career, like I'll relate it to the World Cup. Vozinha is 40 years old for my
Right.
country. I have a 40-year-old goalkeeper,
Yeah.
and they gave us a 1% chance to win. We defied all odds. If they can do it, why can't you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep. And that element of, I don't know when you learn that in life, that failing forward and what can we pull from that? Because there's always a lesson to be learned along the way.
I think I'm with you on that too.
Yeah.
I think I definitely wanted to learn it younger, but everybody's dreams and everybody's lives take different times to, I guess, change who they are while they're growing up. So I think it happened exactly the way it was supposed to be. Even though I'm like kind of poking it, I'm like, man, it should have happened a couple of years earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay, I wanted to ask you a question about, and this is so leading. It's so difficult because we know each other so well,
And
but
I feel like all of my questions so far, I'm like, I just want to give them to Koreans.
well, this one's special for you. One of the things we enjoy doing is having pocket questions for one another.
Yeah.
And this one is one that I would love to hear from you, Bestito, on why do you think people are afraid to pivot?
Ooh, I think for me, is the fear of the unknown. I remember for me too, when I didn't know what's next and I knew I needed to make a move in the world that is ever changing. I can only imagine why people can be afraid of that pivot, right? But like Kareem said, you gotta fail, you gotta fail, try again and get up and try again. And I think it's that fear of the unknown
Yeah.
or the expectation we put in ourselves, thinking that we should be at a certain place in our life at a certain time, not knowing things are changing. So are we, right? So are we. We were changing. And the moment we realized life was meant to not live in survival mode, and
Mhm.
it means to be living and trying and figure it out and know that if we fail, we have community to pick us back up and we have the strength to pick back up. I think it will be easier. But the mindset or the idea that we have of failing is it's what's making pivoting hard, right? We think that if I fail, that means my life is over. That means I can't get up again to try. And once we kind of reframe our mind and say, hey, we try, it didn't work. We're gonna go back, like Karim said, to the drawing board and try again, and we will continue pushing and knowing that we have community to support us. So that's how I see it. But I can understand too. The fear is real. A lot of people they don't have no backup plans, and even if they do, because they are living in survival mode, there is no space for backup
Yeah.
plans. Um, but I think it's believing that we did not come this far to only get this far
Well,
and dare ourselves to be delusional and keep pushing until we get to where we need to be.
that part. That that part is
Yeah.
so true of I was watching a documentary sometime this week and it was about um retired SEALs, right? So
Ooh.
military SEALs, which,
Send me where you watch that. You be having all the good stuff.
you need to watch it on the weekend because I was like,
Oh, okay.
it's a weight. It should have had a caption. You know what I mean?
Really?
You were feeling emotional at this time. But so my husband and I watched it, right? So we watched the movie and it's about retired SEALs, and then they go and work through this process of healing through PTSD, right?
Mm,
Well, but my dad is a veteran as well. My heart to advocate for all mental health care that each and every person is worthy of. And one of the things was, is I watched this movie, right? And then the next day, there's a lot going on for everyone in life right now, experiencing some great grief right now. And I sat there and I was like, I'm so irritated with myself. Like, stop. And I think I called myself a pansy. Like, I was like, stop being a pansy and like get up. And I said it out loud. And Matt said, my husband said, we just watched that movie last night.
mm.
Like
Wow.
men that went and experienced the craziest, gnarliest things that you could ever imagine, that they experience that same level of fear. And what made me think of that is you sharing about being afraid to pivot. I know we've talked about this before, of like that fear component could be too, is I'm afraid to pivot because yes, it's the fail component, but what if this is the first time I've had a meal every single day for every single meal? What if this is the first time I have a roof over my head? What if this is the right? So it's that
It's that
quantitative
comfort.
and that qualitative part. Because even hearing you, Jay, and I know you so well, I know your journey. I know the things you chose to stand up and do as a child and as you came to the US, leaving Haiti, and what you went through. Then I
Yeah,
think it is something of that it doesn't matter if you are a highly decorated 30-year SEAL veteran or you're a 12-year-old that's trying to say,
yeah,
wait, I've played football,
right,
FUTBOL, but what if I want to try drama? What if I want to experience music? There's something so powerful, like when we use that word afraid, that it's so multifaceted,
yeah,
and how fear is so multifaceted, to
right,
Kareem's point of each and every person's journey and experience is intimate and it's personal and it's theirs. And that's where maybe community matters a whole lot, right? Like as we're
right,
having those thoughts of maybe I do want to try theater, and I've played football my whole life,
yeah,
going and talking to someone and speaking to someone about those thoughts and not allowing that fear to get in the way to what might lead to the red carpet,
yeah.
having community in those times to make sure we don't stand in our own way of that door opening or not kicking it open because we're allowing fear to control it.
Yeah. And I will chime in real quick, and then I have a question for you, Kareem.
Hmm.
While you are talking, Ashley, it really dawned to me too. That fear sometimes is the fear of being afraid of your own success because you don't think you belong in those rooms, right?
Imposter
Let
syndrome.
me cook, right?
You
Because
cook.
that fear is what if I was meant to be in the space that I am in without
Mm,
not having to make other people uncomfortable or myself uncomfortable
mm,
because people like me don't deserve to be in those rooms, right? And we think staying or pivoting is scary.
mm.
That's fear or the whatever that feeling is, it's not because you don't think there is greater things for you, it's because you don't think you are supposed to be in those spaces, so therefore you limiting yourself to your comfort zone by what you think you're comfortable. I'm sure, Kareem, you had no idea that's what your decision will lead you to, but yet you are, and yet you belong in those
Yeah.
spaces, right?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes too that fear is not a negative thing, it's our own doubts, right?
Yeah.
Of not being ready or thinking that we were not supposed to be in the wombs that we never saw, maybe because of our background where we come from. Like we think it was just survive, right? I make enough to have food at the table, to have a shelter or roof over my head. That's it. That was my goal. That's what people expected of me,
Mm,
right? How dare I push to be in wombs that I'm not supposed to be? What will I do, right? How will I even compose myself? So that can be another component of why people are so afraid to pivot. Sometimes it's because they're scared of their own success as well.
A lot.
Actually, you can chime in too on that part, Kareem. I really wanted to ask you, what happened when your identity become tied to your accomplishment? Has that happened to you, or what advice would you have to give to other people when you see that happen?
mm,
Actually, that just I was in Target the other day and I was just grabbing food and I was just sitting in line to check out. And I had one of my community members that was has been watching me since day one. Actually
Mm,
played soccer with me growing up in high school. Reached out to me in line and he shook my hand and he was like, "Hey man, I love everything that you're doing. You might not remember me. My name is so and so, and I just appreciate everything you're doing, and I think you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work." And that's it. It definitely sticks with me. Where does Kareem Cheese end, and where does Kareem start?
right.
So I was. It's tricky. It's tricky.
yeah,
I feel like I've equally separated my work from my regular life, but then I kind of mixed it a little bit because Kareem Cheese it is who I am.
Yeah.
It's not a moniker. I just bring in my everyday high energy, regular self, try to make people laugh, try to make people forget about their everyday problems that are going on in life, because there's a lot of things going on that you don't know about behind the scenes. You just want to treat everybody with respect, make sure they're good, happy, and they left, I guess, their hour or 30 minutes with you better than they started off in the day. So I think trying to not get too, I guess, mixed up with who Kareem Cheese is has been a little tough, to be honest,
Yeah.
because everybody sees me in a higher light. They put me on a pedestal, and I'm like, I'm just like a regular guy. I just like to laugh. I love anime. I love soccer. I just love creating, helping with charities, whatever I can do to do my part. So, man, that was a good question.
Yeah.
That was a great question. It's
Let there be
it's
a
hard.
lesson.
It's still hard, because now I'm pivoting to the imposter syndrome too, because so many of us creators have it, because we're around so many, like, it's a numbers game. So you're around all the people who have bigger numbers than you. You're around people who have lower numbers than you. And you get this real imposter syndrome that you don't belong in an area if you're not hitting these effective numbers on where you need to be or where you're supposed to be. So I think moving forward, I suffer from imposter syndrome as well. I kind of turned that off. I was like, it didn't matter what numbers they have. I was like, we eat the same breakfast every morning.
That's right.
Right.
We eat food every day.
Right.
Like, you're trying to do exactly what I'm doing. You just have a bigger team.
Right.
Like, I can be that. I can do that. If I believe in myself, I push myself, and I get a little more comfortable with that fear.
Mhm.
I can accomplish anything I want.
One of my favorite quotes is being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because there's like trauma uncomfortability, which we're not talking about.
Right.
Not talking about that. But that aspect of, one, thank you for sharing that. And I think that there would be people that might be surprised of the imposter syndrome. It's like
Yeah.
they look and they see, and also that separation of, what is the brand and who am I, and
Yeah.
when do I rest? Because what's interesting too is anybody who is in the content creator space is like that designation between the two, because the brand doesn't function without the person making the brand happen, right?
Right.
It's just, what does success mean now for you? Maybe different than what it was before.
Success before meant to me kind of like, this post is blowing up, or I'm getting so much engagement here, or the numbers are right here. And I was like, oh, this is really, really good. The return on investment is good. My time is being paid. Like, I'm getting my time's worth.
Yeah.
So now it's completely changed for me. Did I produce content I'm proud of? Did I drop something that's going to help somebody in the future? Did I drop something that was informative? Did I drop something that was funny? Did I drop something that took somebody's 15-minute break in the car while they're eating lunch and took that whole time and they were happy with it? So I've been curating the way I work my craft, moving, I guess, more towards quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
So when I drop something, I know it's good. I'm proud of it. It's clear. It's focused. The script is well, and I'm launching it. I'm not worried about the numbers and anything like that. It'll come later. I've had videos hit after being 6 months up. They were in a drought, gone, and then they just pop up out of nowhere because you did a good work. You did good work with the company, and a lot of people go to your page, and then they start looking, and then you never know what goes back into the algorithm.
Yeah.
So it's changed quite a bit.
What about for you, Jesula?
I think very similar to Kareem. I think for me, it was more what I look like for people, for the expectation of me. Actually, you mentioned a little bit about my background. I was born and raised in Haiti, and I was the first in my family to push myself to follow through education, and that expectation becomes very heavy. And I knew that I will need to be the one to really support my whole family. Those are my thoughts at 12 years old, right? Thinking that I can take care of a whole family at 12 years old. And I was laser focused on that. At 12-year-old, coming to America, I'm going to study. I'm going to be one of the smartest person in school. I'm going to push. I'm going to do this so I can help take care of my family. But I never really understood that there was a lot of trauma. The reason why I came to the United States is because there was a big earthquake that happened in my country and I had to migrate to the United States. And that was a traumatic thing. Instead of trying to heal with this trauma, I'm thinking about how can I help other people. And as I'm getting the tools and the resources and organization that Be Strong comes into my life, I realize I am a broken girl and I need repair. I need repair, I need support, I need love, I need community. And before I can take care of anybody else, I need to take care of myself. So that becomes what success look like for me. It becomes how can I best take care of myself so I can take care of those I love. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional in this episode. But and then as you get older too, what you think will make you successful in front of your parents, your family, friends that watching you doing all these things, and you realize because I choose to take care of myself, now they see me as a failure because I'm not holding up to my words to them, and they can see the battle that I'm fighting every day just to stay alive, so I can then go back to that dream and taking care of them, right? And that pivoting and choosing myself, it's letting those that I love down and be okay of them seeing me as a failure, right? And that has been to me, regardless, I know that I'm successful because I choose to do the odd thing, which is taking care as a Black woman, taking care of myself is not meant to be something successful. So I'm proud of creating some things that look different for other young girls to take care of themselves, knowing that the moment you start taking care of yourself, you can go back and take care of your community. And success to me, that has been a goal of mine. How can I best take care of myself so other people can see that it's possible? And the worst thing you can do is betray yourself because you want to hold your words to your community or people around you. So, yeah, it's a very tricky moment because I still want to make them proud, right? I still want to take care of them, but what good am I if I'm not good, right? So,
I think that that's profound, and thank
yeah,
you for always being just authentically yourself, and the gift that you give. And I remember that young girl,
yeah.
and um,
When Ashley say we go way back, we went way
Yeah, I'm getting the
back. You don't
lore.
even
I'm
want to
getting this is
know,
good.
Kareem.
This is so
The
good. I'm like, where's
years,
the
the
popcorn
years.
at?
is the you could feel the weight of what you carried, as a young person, even a
Yeah,
person in general. I'll tell you, watching you over the last 5 years, maybe it's been much longer, but we'll just say 5. But one thing about you, best detail, is you might change your focus on who needs your energy,
mm,
but you never stop
yeah,
serving and caring and providing for those that are around you.
yeah,
Even right now, I think it's also important for us to talk about the wonderful people
yeah,
of Haiti and how blessed and strong our country and stronger our country is with the wonderful people of Haiti being here safely
yeah,
and contributing and doing. I mean, when I think of just how incredible that as a 12-year-old girl,
yeah,
you came to the US. Not because you came to the US, because I think of the thousands of lives and the people that have been positively impacted because as a child, you came here and chose to contribute to this society. So I thank you for that. And I thank you for your service in that. And I think that's hard not to be emotional because of the foolery afoot um, right now, but it's a
yeah.
lie and it's wrong because
Say it
it is
louder on the
such
mic, Ashley.
uh,
Say it louder on the mic.
I'll scream it.
But really, thank you so much, Ashley, for your kind word. And I think it's organization and people like you who or speaking up for those who don't have the voice to speak for themselves or who are tired of advocating,
That's right.
right? It
That part.
becomes tiring when you know that you're just trying to survive, right? And then here you are, you don't know where you're gonna go back and what you're going back to, right? So,
Mhm.
and I think that a lot of advocacy is needed in that. But you know me as the project manager in me, I have to go back to business. So I have a question for you actually. So, what dream, speaking on success earlier, what dream did you feel like you had to outgrow?
We're gonna love that to Kareem.
Let's give that to Queen, and then you
Are you
you
gonna
can
lob it
chime
to
in,
me?
Ashley.
I had to this is a fun one. I had a dream that I was going to be an animator.
Okay.
I was going to do animation. I was going to do graphic design. And then I had to quickly divert that dream because I did not know how much practice that you need to put into actually like animate and draw and do all this stuff. And I was very, very young. And I was like, I think I just want to play football. I think so
Perhaps,
that's
perhaps.
a huge nod to the animators, huge nod to anybody that does graphic design. The work is really, really important and really, really battle tested. It's hard. It's very, very hard. And I commend people who do it. But I had to outgrow that dream because, and also clearly I didn't. I wasn't a good drawer. I was, I was horrible. I was horrible. I'll show you guys maybe what I can do on MS Paint one of these days, and you guys will have a good laugh. But it was definitely
Couple things. I don't like to animate. I'm not a drawer. This
no.
might not be.
This might not be it for me.
I'll stay behind camera and I'll stay on the pitch.
I love it. I
I
love
do
it.
too. And so, what we can take away from that to our lovely audience is that sometimes seeds get planted.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And sometimes people try to plant us, but they don't know we're a seed.
Right.
The reality is, though, I think what's so cool is that we get to have these ideas. And we talk about this a lot, but one of my favorite things that I got to learn, I wasn't taught this as a kid, probably for a host of reasons, but I freaking love curiosity. Like, be curious. Like, let Kareem be like, you know what? I want to animate.
Right. And then
Yeah.
2 days later, maybe not.
Yeah.
But I did some research and come to find out it's not for me, right? How does imposter syndrome? It can't really feed there if we have a spirit of curiosity.
Right.
If we have a spirit of discovery, like
Right.
that's a really, really important reminder for us all that, yeah, I had this dream,
Yeah.
thought about it, put a little effort in,
Didn't work out.
it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a dream for you that you thought it was going to be one thing, but that it completely evolved into something like you had no idea that that was going to be what was next?
That I didn't know I had a dream of being a content creator and creating content.
That part.
I had no clue what I was doing. Right. We're gonna go back. I'm gonna take you guys back a couple of years. It is 2017. I'm in college. I was in college. It was a good time. I was working 3 jobs as well just to stay in college. And I was playing college soccer at the time. I had no time for anything, but I made time. All my friends are like, Kareem, we're going to go party, have a good time after. I'm like, no, I'm going to try something new. I heard I can plug a Logitech camera into the back of my Xbox and start streaming from my console.
Wow.
So I did it. I started streaming on a platform called Mixer before I moved to Twitch. It was great for growth. I amassed like 25,000 followers in about 3 months. And then I pivoted to Twitch and the rest is history. And I had no clue what I was doing. I just knew I love video games and I've been playing video games since I was a kid. It was either video games or football. So I knew I was going to be successful in one of them. I just had to stay the course. So, and also be curious. Right. And I was like, I was watching streams. I was like, what is this guy doing? I was like, how can I see his video game and his face is on it? How does that work? So I made it. I went to YouTube, as everybody does. Best teacher in the world. Went to YouTube,
University.
learned everything, studied
University.
YouTube University. I went through, learned everything I needed to learn, and just gave my 100% on everything that I, had to partake in. Anything that I put some of my energy in, I gave it 100%.
That part too, right? So there's the curiosity, there's the exploration, but
Right.
it's like go hard once you're there. I would feel like athletes are really good about that, and the aspect of perseverance specifically,
Yeah.
and taking hits a bit different than that's why I feel like every person should experience sport, and every single person should have to work at a restaurant at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the two.
I have also worked at a restaurant.
Obviously, you're a well-rounded human.
Right. Right.
And also, children who are listening, I don't know if you heard, but Kareem said when he was at college, he chose to work on his future, not go to the clubs. Just kidding.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking,
I
right?
I went.
Right.
I
For
went
the
sometimes.
youngins,
I went sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. I did.
we met you.
No,
You
I
said,
did
"Not
go
too much now,
sometimes,
then I
but
find some photo of me."
but before I went out, homework was done.
Okay. He said, please don't go deep dive.
Right.
Homework
Don't
was
deep
done.
dive now
I
because
didn't leave
did
the
go out a
house
few
until
times.
everything was
But I
done.
do think the point is sometimes, even as a young person too, to have the discernment in saying, if I have that curiosity, I want to get better at something. There are some sacrifices where there are moments I will have to say no to the fun, or maybe leave an extra hour early so I can learn and kind of practice. So it requires a little bit of sacrifice to kind of push through some of the curiosity, the things that you enjoy doing. Still have fun though. Be safe though, kids.
Be safe.
Always be
Only
safe, have fun.
Jesula goes out and then says, leave an hour early to come back and do more work. That
You
is
know,
not.
sometimes
That work
you
might
gotta do
change
what
your
you gotta
future. You
do,
don't know. That hour might change your whole life.
I love
Right,
it.
exactly,
All right,
exactly.
you still in your little bandwagon. I like it. Okay, that's it. Reframe it. Reframe it.
Let's reframe.
Yeah, when Jesula was a young, we learned about reframing, and now she tells
Reframing
me to reframe
everything.
all the time. She's like, "Now, Ashleigh, reframe it." I'm like,
Reframe it,
"You know what? If you reframe me one more time, one more time."
No, you gotta reframe, man. The moment you reframe, it makes more sense.
Or just dance your way to it,
Right,
right?
dance your way through it.
Just get there. Just get there.
Moonwalk your way to your dream.
Oh, this leads to my next question, just so beautifully. And I'll throw this out to both of you, jump in, whomever, is why do people stay stuck?
Karim, I'll let you start because that's a good one. Ooh,
She said she has to reframe.
excuse me, I need to reframe myself.
Well, I just mini reframed. Let's go. What was the question again? The question again. I'm reframing.
I'm reframing. Why do people stay stuck?
Yes. Oh my God, I'm a genius. Sorry.
Yes.
So this is
the podcast. If something happened.
no. This is for the pod. I need everybody to listen to this. This is for the pod, right? I was watching a movie called Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's a coming of age movie, and it's beautiful. And the young student is talking to Paul Rudd, and he goes, how do we make people accept like the love that is like true and stop chasing like people who are bad for you?
Right.
And then Paul Rudd goes, we accept the love we think we deserve. So I think some people think they deserve to be in those spaces, like in those bad spaces in life.
Yeah.
They don't see that they can break out. They don't see that they can really grow and become something that is not what they're supposed to be. So, or not what society puts on them, or not what their families put on them. Right. So, I think breaking through that wall and getting to know that side of you, so that way you can grow out of whatever rut you're in. So that way you can accept the love that you're supposed to have in life, right? You're supposed to have these changes. You're supposed to have these experiences. And a lot of people close their self off before they even get to that point. So another good question, like from your question, is how does the youth break through that rut so that way they can accept good things in their life instead of only think bad things are going to happen or that they're not good enough to do so and so?
You are a genius. That was very, very, very good, Kareem. For me, that question actually brought me to multiple things. One is what I was talking about earlier. The fear of not believing that you belong to push beyond what you know you deserve, right? Or what society expects from you. Um, the other part is stuck where, right? Where are you in your journey and where are you stuck at? Sometimes, for example, Kareem, where you at right now, you might get comfortable and you think this is it. That's the only place you get. This is it, right? And you're not pushing the boundaries, you're not pushing yourself. And sometimes people stuck because they went to rock bottom and they just give up,
Mm.
but they don't remember or know that even when you drop a ball, it bounces, it goes down and it comes back
Yeah,
up, right?
that's a bar.
But we believe that because we hit rock bottom, then, well, why should I try? It's over. I couldn't pay my rent today. Therefore, I'm not even gonna try to go talk to the landlord and explain my situation, right? We're not problem solving. We're not
Mm.
leaning in community. We think that wherever we are stuck at, it's the place we're deserving to be, not knowing that we are not supposed to do this life by ourselves and take the shame, right? Take the embarrassment and ask for help, right? And I think Be Strong, one of the main thing that I love about what the work that we do is that the greatest sign of strength is asking for help. And that's something that take me years, and especially for those who never look like what they're going through. It's hard because you are smiling, you are putting this facade, but you can sleep at night. You don't know where your next meal is coming from, but no one knows, right? You have those invisible scars, no one knows. But it's okay to put these prides aside. It's okay to put that embarrassment, that shame aside. Look for an app, do some research, go to the library if you don't have a phone, ask for your community, ask for your support, because in the end, this life was meant to live together. And I think the reason why I stay stuck where sometimes we're stuck in our mind because the
Right.
solution is
Right.
all around us. It's people. But because we assume that everybody's gonna judge because we're living in a society, social media tell us what we should look like, what we should be doing.
Mm.
Therefore, we think if we ask for help, it's gonna expose the things that we've been trying to hide, right? And I think the world deserves to show more compassion and more space for people to be comfortable and say, "Hey, I'm hungry, girl. Can I come over? Oh,
Right.
what did you cook?" Right? And
Right.
for me to be okay, girl, come on over, right? And for me to not wait for people to ask me if I have extra food in my fridge. Hey, girl, I haven't heard from you like since the past 5 days. Like, I have some food. You wanna come over?
Mhm.
Bring back community so people don't feel like they're alone and walking this journey by themselves. And I think that's why people feel so stuck, right? The expectation of society, we stuck in our mind, we stuck um on whatever places that we think we are deserved to be in, that fear, that shame, that embarrassment. And it's again, Ashley, I'm gonna say that again. I know you get tired of it. We need to reframe.
I mean,
We need to reframe.
how to
I'm so
reframe.
scared of it because it's like it's me. It comes
I
out. It's
know.
like and then I'm like, but I want to. No,
We got to reframe.
we do. It is a powerful tool to reframe. So our
Yeah,
takeaways here, guys, we're going to reframe. One of the things too is we hear this a lot. So Kareem, part of Be Strong's model to work with young people across the country as well as their families to strengthen mental, emotional, relational health. We launched the Never Alone campaign. This is our second year of it. As I mentioned to you before, very simple. Get out of all the words if you don't see yourself within that space, right? That, listen, help is here, hard stop, right? Download
right,
the Be Strong app, which is a free and anonymous app. We built it, and the community who has built this app and continues to invest in this app is exactly for the reasons that Jesula just shared, right? Is that when it can be really, really difficult to take that first step, through our partnership with BetterHelp, we're able to provide free therapy for our community, which is revolutionary and incredible. What's the biggest hurdle is one, people don't believe it. They're like, nope, because why? Because help fails us.
yeah,
Okay. Headline, help fails us. Like when you go into our app, we communicate that. When we started communicating that to people that,
yeah,
you have to keep trying. This is a contact sport.
mm,
Getting help, I think we sometimes have in our head of, oh, I called this person
right,
who has maybe been there for me, don't know where they're at, emotionally, mentally, where they're at in that moment. But
mm,
when people fail us, I think that it hurts, right, throughout the process because it takes a lot of courage
right,
to get to that step for that help.
mm,
So let it be a reminder to us that people will fail.
Yeah.
But to Jesula's point, there are more people, there are communities, there are organizations, there are literally people standing by right now that want to help you. What's the biggest challenge? Finding them. Download the Be Strong app is all
Yeah.
I'm saying. That one teacher who failed me when I finally, said what was going on,
Yeah.
that stuck with me I would catch that when I was in corporate. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
ask for help on a project, and I would remember that moment of when
Yeah.
I went to the guidance counselor and said, here's what's going on, within the home, da 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 da. And it was like, oh, well, we can't help you with that.
Right.
And then that got stuck.
Yeah.
But good news is there's a heck of a lot more people
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. That's a good point. And yeah, if you guys don't know too much about Be Strong, please, please, please visit the app. I do think I've been with Be Strong as a student since I was 15 years old, and I never wanted to go back. Even as an adult, the resources, I don't think I will be half of the woman that I am without the support and the knowledge to figure out the type of resources. There is a lot of resources out there, but resources that give you agency of your own. A lot of people, sometimes it's not that we don't think help exists, but is what type of help, right? Because there is so many different background where you come from, different pride. And I think what Be Strong did for me, that I've always trying to tell young people, is the sense of agency that it gave me, right? I didn't have to go to a teacher because I wasn't ready. Because if I did go to a teacher when I wasn't ready, I was afraid that if they go tell my parents that I'm feeling some type of way, my parent will interpret it in a certain way and send me back to a place that I wasn't ready to go to. So asking for help felt threatened to me, even though when I know whatever the people that I asked for help was doing is to help me, but it wasn't going to help me for real because they don't know how that will interpret back home. So having an app where I can navigate it myself, figure out help without feeling that I'm going to put myself at risk is what really make it powerful for me. Even as I get older, I talk about the shame. Till this day, as an adult, I'm never going to tell people that shame will go away. Sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know if I should talk to people about this, And then I went to Be Strong app and find one of the article and find some resources myself and navigate those thought process. But as I keep doing that, I got comfortable talking to people. But you need a first step, right? Because we're not gonna be ready. A lot of us come from different places. Mental health to me was foreign language when I came to the United States. Like, what is that? Like, no, people don't need to
She
know my
speaks
business.
multiple languages.
Right, right.
She speaks multiple
And
languages.
that was one on top of it that I had to learn to speak, right?
Yeah.
If I do admit something is wrong, that means I'm failing. That means I'm a failure. That means I'm letting people down, right? And it's little steps. And I think Be Strong provide me with that little step until I can run with the resources that are available for me. So peeps, that was not a part of what I plan to talk about, but hey, check Be Strong out, learn some more and get help for yourself.
The app plug. Hey, Karim, Jay, you hit on something where you said, I think that's a powerful word of like the danger associated with help. Karim, has help ever felt like dangerous to you?
Yeah, so growing up, I've had my own failures. Well, in high school, I had a teacher that failed me because I suffer from minor ADHD. So I was not very good to work with in class. I didn't pay attention a lot, and I repeatedly told her I was like, I have ADHD, and I take medication, and she was not understanding, did not care, and didn't treat me like I guess properly because I don't think she was well equipped. Like,
Sure.
I didn't hate her, right? But my dreams were crushed to understand that there were some people in the world that weren't willing to ask me more questions about what I was dealing with. So that was one of the Debbie Downers for me. But as I went forward, like I got other teachers and they worked well with me, and I didn't give up. I was like, maybe I got to be more vocal about it. So I started being more vocal about it. And a lot of people were more understanding, and it just kind of worked a lot better. That I told people ahead of time before I went into their classes what they were getting into.
One, thank you for sharing that. And I know many, many people that resonates with, and unfortunately is still happening today. What's interesting that you shared is you faced that disappointment, right? Is that when you were faced with the disappointment of the person, right? How old were you? What are we
I
talking?
was 14
14. Okay, cool. So,
as a freshman.
but your move to say, hey, I need to get louder. Where do you think that came from? Like, what influence in your life was like, this is where I go to?
So obviously you guys know I'm an anime fan, true and true. So I was watching animes and I was watching like Naruto, I was watching the One Pieces, and I was watching every show that had a protagonist that
Okay.
was loud and proud, right?
Okay.
A little annoying, but who isn't? You know, the world is full of people with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and I just didn't want to live a life where I was hiding who I was. That wasn't how I was raised. My mom raised me super, super well. She told me to be myself, be bold, take challenges, and be comfortable being uncomfortable and never be complacent, right? I always want to push towards the next level. I want to be working towards something else. And even in high school, that work was letting people know that I had ADHD, and I'm going to be a little bit of a problem, and I'm sorry, but I'm still going to work hard. So having those conversations helped me in the future. So I didn't have that instance with that former teacher that failed me on help.
So I hear you loud and clear.
Me
I
too.
hear, the people will fail you. The
Right.
people are going to let you down. But as your mama taught you and us,
Yeah.
be bold and be loud, and I think one of the things that you said too of how we reflect and we look at ourselves is that I'll be, I could be a problem, or here's what you're getting into, right? I don't like that word problem, but that's a competitive edge that I'm sure you have now that is applied. Like we say within the Be Strong world, I just started that Be Strong was like, it's a diff ability is, and want to be wildly sensitive to that and not take away from people's everyday challenges that they experience. But the reality is each and every person is uniquely made.
Yeah.
Right. And let's get into a space and create those spaces and welcome those spaces of where wouldn't it be, it's like, that's why I love the Montessori school model, is because it's curiosity, and it would be Karim comes into that classroom. Well, we're going to work to identify of how you function and your differences from Jesula and from Ashleigh to find ways to be able to develop that and to do, that next. And so I thank you for sharing that, and let it be a reminder to all of us that, let us not become quiet with our differences.
Mm.
Let us not become quiet or muted.
Or muted.
For you, Karim, this segment is called Uncomfortable Truth.
Nice.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Nice.
Feel free, anyone who actually makes sounds, to send them to us. We try really hard when we
Right.
go into our segments, but we like to keep, production value low, content high. So, dear Karim,
Yes. I'm scared.
I want you to think about this. I want you to think about it. It is good to be, well, no, don't be scared. No.
The suspense.
The suspense. Okay. When was the last time you had to call yourself out?
Mm.
I love an uncomfortable truth,
This is a good one. This is a good one. And I have yet to speak on this one. So I was in a relationship prior, and all I did was work. All I did was put everything I have into my dream of content. And I wasn't the best boyfriend. So I had to call myself on that, and really, really understand that if I was going to put myself in a position to be with anybody or give them my time, it had to be 100%. It was unfair to that person if I was just a shell in that relationship. So I really had to call myself on that one, and really try to change myself as a man, and really understand that if I'm going to bring somebody into my life and what I do, I have to give 110%, like, with that person. So whether it's like, scheduling dates, checking in with them mentally as well, because they're going through their whole lives and their work, and they have stuff they want to talk about. I was very, very disappointed in myself because I fell in love with the game when I should have been falling in love with somebody that I cared about deeply, and ruined that. So that was a huge life learning lesson. And but it was something that I grew from. So
Yeah.
that was one of the moments I had to check myself.
Well, I'm sorry you experienced heartbreak. I will say, we also like to make it very clear.
Yeah.
None of us have letters behind our names
We
here.
don't. We
No one's a
don't.
therapist, but we do be like, we connect the dots though, because we
Right.
live
Right.
under
Right.
the hood. A lot of our friends have the letters, and they stay close.
True. True.
I would wonder if when we pick up a conversation in the next few years and you're in a new relationship, I wonder with how you are learning to love Karim and Karim Cheese, and where you talked about like giving that space for Karim. I wonder if as that evolves, how you will show up as a partner differently. Um, because I think this is such a gift to you of that you are worthy of that time. You
Yeah.
are worthy of your space to be filled with yummy dates and wonderful times. And I know as a professional and a person who my brain functions around work a lot, that is a contact sport for me of. And then when I really, really started working on it, the therapist was like, well, let's talk about versus you loving other people, how we love in ourselves. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
her, I don't really even like her. So I'm excited for you when I feel you on that. I don't want anyone to go through hurt, but we also know failure and hurt is what's going to get us to where we ultimately have to be. Because building your own brand and managing your own brand that is
Yeah.
fueled by you, I mean,
Yeah.
where is the space? So
It's like sometimes 16-hour days. I worked all the way. Okay, I'm not a workaholic, right? I'm not a workaholic.
anyone who is a workaholic says
This is the first disclaimer.
I just I just get caught up into doing so many different things, right? And then I'll write them all down on my notebook or my journal, and I'll just have a to-do list. And I'm a firm believer in I want days to myself. So I'll burn through a whole day. I'll do like a 13-hour day, etc. Like, it's bad. You should sleep, guys. If you're listening to this right now, you should sleep and enjoy yourself and get the proper rest. But I do like to do that so I can have those off days where I do nothing. So that's something that I've changed and I pivoted. I used to not have off days and just work 10-hour days. It was bad.
well, gold star for you.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Man, thank you for adding us to your very
Yeah.
long list of things.
Yeah.
We would love to
you.
spend 16 hours straight with you. You are a joy. Thank you for bringing goodness to this world.
Yeah.
It needs it, creating space and opportunity for people to feel seen and known, and that they're loved and that they belong, because we need it and the human spirit needs it. Thank you for coming and sharing a little bit about, and if you will, please share where people can find you.
Yeah. I'm Karim Cheese for anybody listening. You can find me at Karim Cheese on most platforms, sometimes Karim Cheese with a G at the end. But if you look up Karim Cheese, I should pop up. And I would love for you guys to download the Be Strong app if you guys haven't already.
Not the
And
goal.
yes, PR train.
He is volunteering his time here. Let me be very clear.
Yeah,
That endorsement was out of the
free of
generosity of
charge.
his heart.
Free of charge. Yeah, just Kareem Cheese everywhere. And I do a lot of gaming content, IRL traveling and reaction. And I'm also a vendor. I like to create esports events that support charity. So if you guys would love to support, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
You are incredible. And I want you to know, guys, it's Friday, which is Jesula's favorite day.
It's Friday.
Friday for Bestito.
I know. Thank you guys. Well, really, really thank you. I think this is one one of my best episodes so far too. So Kareem, thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your willingness to share. And before we go, I would love for you to have a final word as well. Like, what would you like to tell the audience before we go? Whatever that is that you want to share with them.
I would like to tell the audience that don't put yourself in a box. There's nothing you can't do. Everything is achievable in this world. And if you put in enough work and enough effort and take those L's and push through them, you will be exactly where you want to be and then some.
With that being said, folks, your dreams is allowed to change.